You know, there are people out there that don't like me. There are people that actually hate me, and it's because I have such an amazing life. And you know what? I'm not gonna apologize. You got this one life to live. You should live a freaking awesome, amazing life too. And today I'm gonna share with you 5 secrets to living that amazing life. You got goals, there's things that you wanna accomplish. Most people do not know how to accomplish them. Today I'll show you the hack on how to get it done.
Won't you follow me into the jungle? Ain't no God on the streets in the heart of the jungle. Won't you follow me into the jungle?
Man, if there's one thing that chafes my hide more than anything, it's seeing people waste life's great opportunity. They've embraced mediocrity. Sure, they had a go at maybe greatness or doing something that pushed or challenged them, but then it got hard and then they gave up. And you know what? That's the story of just about every human being on this planet. Today, for you, that needs to change. And it's motivated me to make this video, and it's really all about this idea. How can you have it all? Is that like even really possible? Listen, I'm not gonna claim to have everything, but if I'm being honest with you, I feel like I do. And I'm gonna qualify exactly what I mean. Check out my journey over the last 10, 15 years. I met the most amazing woman of my dreams. We had our hardships, but we freaking figured out how to love and support each other. We've had 4 amazing kids that we're still raising, and we've been able to take them all around the world. I've been living in mansions, I'm driving whatever cars I want. Bottom line is, it's not about the wealth. When I want something, I snap my fingers and I get it. I've been able to live that lifestyle for the last 12 years. And today, whether what's motivating you to watch this video is health, or maybe it's more money, or maybe it's a happier relationship, or maybe it's just being freaking happy, or being about something that challenges you or pushes you, today I'm gonna show you 5 life lessons. They are 5 steps that have helped me literally achieve everything I've wanted, and I'll show you too. At some point, there was a chapter in the book of my life called To Hell and Back Again. Because there was a time when I felt mediocre. There was a time when I didn't command this body. I was chubby, I was fat, I didn't like it. There was a time when I looked in the mirror and I didn't like who I saw. I didn't feel my self-worth. There was a time when I was poor and deeply in debt, and I thought that that might be my identity. And you know what? There was a newly married young man there that kept fighting with his spouse because the two of them couldn't figure out how to get along. Like, that was my life once upon a time. But I want to share with you meaningfully what changed that for me. You see, I believe the real secret to success comes down to understanding that when we are growing in our health, in our wealth, in our relationships, and just the personal power of you being you, confidently owning who you are, that's when we're loving life. There's a lot of people subscribe to my channel because they're like, Kris, you're showing me how to make money. Today, I'm gonna show you how to make the real wealth. And it's not just money, it's beyond money. Like when your nutrition, your fitness, and your abilities are growing and everything's lined up, every day I am better, stronger, and more healthy than I was before. And I'm 41 years old. Like, I am more in my prime today than when I was running marathons years ago. Or you take a look at my wealth. I've made more money in the last 2 years than I made in the first 15 years after I already became financially free. You look at the game of the relationships. Man, talk about hell on high water. That was going all sorts of wrong directions before I figured out how to turn it around. And it didn't come overnight. There's a process. There were 5 steps I leveraged. But this has got to be the most important. Who you are as a person, your identity, understanding beyond knowledge or virtues or character that you are like this amazing human being with infinite self-worth, and if you can tap into who you really are, there's nothing you can't do. I'm gonna give you a little secret here. These 5 steps I'm about to share with you, I have people that literally pay me hundreds of thousands of dollars to give them this knowledge and this wisdom. So you might want to, take some notes, follow on, keep up, check it out. Step 1, clearly define what you want. We are all associated with what we don't want. We know what we don't want, but we're not really clear on what it is we actually do want. And half the time when I try to pull it out of you, you know what you're telling me? Someone else's goals and dreams, but not what will actually make you happy. Check this out. Health, wealth, relationships, personal power. I believe that for you to be a complete person, a happy person, a successful person, you can't just dominate like the money zone and suck at the relationships. You got to tackle all of them. So in each of these areas of life, number 1, do you actually know what you want?
What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want?
I'm not just talking about 90 days from now. I'm talking about like a year from now, 5 years from now, 20 years from now, you should be clear on what you want to achieve because you're allowing your mind to expand and say, I'm going to focus on what I do want, because if you don't know what that is, you're going to be busy getting what you don't want. Law of attraction is going to work against you in that case. And this is more important. Every single goal in each of those areas of life has to be measurable. It can't be, I'd like to make more money. I'd like to feel more happiness. That's a great way to go nowhere with your life. You got to say, I want to double my income each and every year. That's measurable. You can know whether you did it. And then your mind becomes like obsessed with, what do I got to do to double my income? Can I do that through my job? I can't. I got to find something outside of my job. Maybe I need a side hustle. Should I get in the game of real estate? You've got to have goals that are measurable so that the moment you achieve them, you know it because it's precise. Similarly, if you're looking at relationships or if you're looking at any other dynamic, you've got to know the exact moment you achieved it. And if you'll know that, it means that it's measurable. Did you know that you are of noble birthright?
You bow to no one.
You are if you live the definition of nobility, which is being better today than yesterday. It's simple. If you ran your mile at this pace, you should run it a little faster. If you got good at making a little bit more money, try to make a little bit more beyond that. Every day it starts stacking up. And this leads me to number 2, which is take daily disciplined action. There should be concerted effort every single day to growing yourself in each area of your life. Let me show you how I break that down right here. It's how you take something impossible, like a year from now. This thing is so big, Kris, but there's a way to make it not just possible, easy. Number 1, you've got to take your unrealistic, huge annual goals and you need to break them down into achievable quarterly goals. So all of a sudden, what you want to be a year from now, how much money you want to make a year from now doesn't look so scary if you just divide it by 4 and say, how much is that in a 90-day period of time? But then you take these unrealistically huge goals and you move into number 2. Achievable quarterly goals should then be broken down into manageable monthly goals. In other words, chop it from 90 days down to just 30 days. What do I have to do in 30 days? It's actually going to feel easier and more achievable. You might have guessed it. Then we got to go and take manageable monthly goals. We got to break them down into doable weekly goals. Well, shoot, I've broken it down into a weekly goal. We might as well get it daily. Absolutely. Doable weekly goals should be broken down into easy, measurable, daily action steps. In other words, do not let your head hit that pillow until you know that you did that one little thing that done every day and improved upon over the course of a year turns into this amazing, huge, incredible achievement. Now, for me to share with you the third step, you need to understand we have to unlock the real power of the real estate that is between your ears. And that's the power of your mind, which is why step 3 is called believe and act as if your desires are already a reality. That's a fancy way for a simple word they use in religion called faith. Or in other words, to believe in a result that you haven't achieved yet. You actually have to be there first in your mind. And I've got a process that will show you how to do that. Check this out. I want you to spend 5 minutes every day in a place I call your mind palace.
I need to go to my mind palace.
This is where you're going to get yourself into a nice, calm, meditative state. And in your mind, it's possible for you to have already achieved everything that you want. When you go into your mind palace, you're literally visualizing yourself in the most beautiful, gorgeous home that feels right to you. It feels more like home than any other home that you've ever had. The temperature is perfect. The look and the feel of the tapestries or the paintings, the size of the room, what everything looks like. Man, this mansion can be as big or as cottage quaint as you want. The point is that when you go here in your mind palace, you get to experience everything that you want as if it's already happened. It's a place where you get to practice absolute certainty, wherein it's like, oh, it's already happened. It's like someone that has won gold medals at the Olympics. They practice every day in their mind what it's like having done it perfectly, taken that shot perfectly, instead of real life where sometimes you miss. Here, you're just convincing yourself, this is my game and this is what I nail, this is what I'm good at. Or practicing linking the emotion to the result. Like you should be practicing this in your mind so that you actually feel it. It should become emotional. You should be able to draw a tear. Like it should move you when you see yourself in that car, or when you bought that house, when you started that business, when you provided for your family, when you're able to finally achieve something that meant so much to you that the world might never understand. But it means the world to you. In your mind palace, you can literally mentally practice building faith by experiencing everything that you want. The body that you want to build a year from now and how you want it to look, down to the amount of money that you're trying to make that you've never made before. When you spend a few minutes every day in your mind palace, living as if it's already happened, what you'll do is you'll emerge forth to the day fully renewed and ready to do whatever comes your way. You're going to tackle any negativity. You're going to feel reinforced that you're going to do whatever it takes and you're going to win. Step 4, practice daily breakthrough. Check it out, my friend. Do you realize that even though you have goals and think you know what you want, there's a part of your brain that is working against your success? When you were a kid, you learned all sorts of lessons like you're not fast enough, you're not smart enough, you're never going to figure it out, you're too young, you're too old. We have these things in our brain called limiting beliefs, and every day I have a simple 4-step exercise for finding them, hunting them down, and destroying them.
To make me a nightmare for people like you.
I developed this daily breakthrough process because I found that I have these limiting notions holding me back, and so I wanted to find a way to get rid of them so that I wouldn't have to dance with my demons. Step 1 is I would get myself in a grounded state, kind of like when I go into my mind palace, and I ask this question: what is the number one limiting belief holding me back in my body today? Or if I'm working on finance, what is the number one limiting belief holding me back from making the money that I want? And when you ask this question, if you sit quietly, something's going to emerge, and it's going to be a limiting belief, and you're going to see that it's been holding you back and hurting you. In other words, you're taking something that has been unconscious and harmful, and you're making it present. You're bringing it consciously forth so that you can evaluate it. Step 2 is you got to get leverage over it by just asking, oh my gosh, what is the cost of this idea? How long has this been holding me back? Like if I were to ask the limiting belief that's holding me back, and let's say it's, you're not smart enough. By the way, that was a true one from my past. Dude, what is the cost of believing that idea? Well, listen, if you don't believe you're smart enough, how are you going to achieve a new result that you haven't before if you believe you're too dumb to do it? And you know what? I get pissed when I look at how much money it's cost me, or I look at the relationships that it's cost me. I look at the health that it's cost me, believing that has added weight to my life, believing that has taken money out of my paycheck. And you know what? I'm done with that. It gets me pissed, so that step 3, I can create a new belief. Instead of believing I'm stupid, how about instead I believe I'm smart? How about I believe I'm intelligent? Like, in its most basic essence, turn it around. Like, what do you need to believe that would be good for you? Because the truth is, you're not stupid. Maybe you suck at chemistry like I do, but that doesn't mean you're dumb at all things. In fact, there's other things that you're downright genius at. So you know what I want you to do? I want you to start believing in the good, because the good will bear different fruits. Bad beliefs produce rotten fruit. And the 4th and final step, I say it's beast yourself. Literally beast this new belief, get into a peak emotional state, freaking get pissed, get angry, get excited, and lock in that new belief by practicing it every single day. This breakthrough process is just literally finding out the ideas that hold you back and replacing them with the ones that set you free, liberate you, and set you on a journey, a path that says, I can freaking do anything. Step 5 is literally my favorite: setting extreme consequences as well as rewards, having accountability and reporting. This is literally what makes the dream work. Check this out. I want to show you some of my favorite consequences that I've collected over the years that have motivated people to finally do what they were supposed to do. For example, I've got a buddy that if he were to eat sugar all during the year, he'd have to eat Rocky Mountain oysters, which is kind of a fun expression for bull's testicles. And to him, that is like the most disgusting thing on the planet. Guess what? He did not have sugar once all last year. Or check this one out. Abstaining from your favorite foods. Oh man, no more ice cream. Shaving your head. You got some pretty locks of hair. How'd you like to shave off 6 years of hard work because you actually didn't show up and do what you were supposed to do? You could abstain from intimacy. I will let this image explain that. Or one of my favorites, something I would hate more than anything, is going from my beautiful smartphone to a stupid dumb phone. Can you imagine anything worse than like trying to operate a business on like a flip phone? Here's the bottom line. You've decided what you want. You've decided what you need to do every single day. And guess what? Aside from being in your mind palace and seeing yourself surrounded by your desires if it's already manifested, or eliminating the limiting beliefs getting in your way, there's got to be some hardcore reality, a slap in the face that says, you better show up or life's going to suck. And you do that with these 2 things. Number 1, you set an extreme consequence or a reward that you think will totally motivate you. And by the way, between consequences and rewards, guess what is proven to be more successful? And then of course you need accountability and reporting. That means there's got to be somebody that you can report to and show them every day you actually did what you were supposed to. Otherwise, they are going to enforce the nasty negative consequence. I want you to understand that I've got a goal in each of those areas of life happening every single day. For an entire year, I already know what I want to achieve financially in my relationships in every area of life, which means that every day there's 4 little micro action steps I need to take so that a year from now, I'm on pace to achieve my goal. And you know what you're going to do? When you learn how to succeed with the system, you're just going to repeat it. You're going to do it again and again and again. And you're going to now let success build on success. Whereas in the past, it may have been failure and mediocrity building on failure and mediocrity. Listen, I've got a tool that I think is going to be really helpful for you. You've heard me talk about a lot of my other real estate, wealth-related books, but this is a book that I almost never talk about, and yet it's the most important book I've ever written. It's called Limitless. This book takes this 5-step process, my belief breakthrough process, and literally walks you through every step of what I do to control my own transformation. A lot of people think, Kris, you're rich because of real estate. You're rich because you own business. No, that's actually not true. I'm rich because I learned how to develop wealth here, and I learned how to become an achiever. I learned literally how to become better today than the day before, but doing a little bit better today than the day that I did before. And when you combine achievement and fulfillment, because you are now achieving goals in every important area of your life, that is what it means to have it all. And if you really want to get the manual on having it all, get a free copy of this book. If you click the link below, I'll ship it out to you. I'll send it to you for free, cover the shipping and handling, and otherwise I will give you my step-by-step manuscript on the most important book I've ever written that will teach you how to live a truly limitless life. Where do you go from here? Well, my friend, you can obviously get a copy of my book for free, but you might be thinking, okay, Kris, I want to tackle the money game because you know what? That's what most people are weak at, and yet it's the one thing that touches all areas of life. If you have more money, you'll have more time with your family. If you have more money, you can take more adventurous trips in life. If you've got more money, it's easier to pay for expensive superfoods and healthy thises and coaches to help you in every area of your life. Money is where you should start. And I made a video that is about the 5 steps of what I did to become a multimillionaire, which really gave me my first level of freedom. Didn't have to have a job. I could command my schedule, command my time. And if you'd like to step into a higher level of achievement and financial success and flexibility, you should check out this video right here because I'll share the 5 steps of how to become a millionaire. So if you want to be by the front door, I'm just going to pull in by the front. I'm probably just going to pull in front of the entire building, like I own the like I own the place.